right, it's Monday and I'm back. Had a busy, crazy busy morning, but I'm finally out here. The girls are getting ready to go to a market. So I'm gonna have, whatever, the next 4 or 5 hours to try and get this ready for seeding. So stick with me and I'll show you what I'm up to. All right, first of all, there is 200 feet of hose that needs to be dragged out and through the snow and hooked up. I've got that done. I'm by myself, so there was no video. We got the irrigation on, and a lot of times when the lines will empty, especially when they're brand new lines, they'll wiggle all over the place. So I kind of went and redid most of these. You can see how little the surface watering did. When soil is initially dry, you will think that this is a watered area, and I will go ahead and guarantee you that it is not. It's a lot like when you grow in containers. You have to make sure that you're not just going by what the surface feels, because if you were to dig down a little ways, that's bone dry. So the areas, obviously, that had the drip irrigation on them for a couple hours before I did the surface watering, again, the area that just got surfaced water, not wet enough. So we're gonna give this a good soak while I'm getting on to other things today. All right, what other things, you must be asking yourself? Well, this area behind me here, we had an issue with the furnace that has been rigged and hopefully fixed. But this area right behind me here in the corner, what we're thinking is I'm gonna try and, well, I'm not gonna try. I'm going to dig out all this area here, and then that's gonna give us somewhere to put this big compost pile. So that pile is still composting, but at the end of the day, that has slowed down. Now that was about 5 feet high, maybe even higher. I mean, it was eyeball level for me, so. And it has broken down over the winter. It's just slowed down. So I think if we can dig a hole back here and get this stuff layered back in there, and then use just a little bit of nitrogen to heat it up again, we'll be able to have that breakdown over the course of the next, say, 4 weeks, and then that can start hitting some of the beds. So, without further ado, man, it's already warm in here. I'm gonna take a layer off and grab my shovel and get busy. I'll show you I'll show you some progress in a minute. All right, so there's a little workout. Oh, it's not too bad, whatever. Frozen a lot higher up here, obviously, on the edge where it's colder, and then as you get in, you can get down a little bit. So we will see. I think once I get this in and water it down, it should settle in nicely. Stay tuned. All right. Whew. Sorry about the face. Okay, here we go. So got this all shoveled up into that little pile there. So now I'm gonna get that thing watered in so we can start heating up again. And then I'll get these trays out of here so I can get them home and get them washed. And then all this soil that's along here, I'm gonna rake that out so we have a nice little spot to put to put our seedling trays. Woohoo! There's a fun way to spend a couple hours, let me tell you. All right, here we go. Got that raked out, and it's a lot more level anyway. So tomorrow when we get seeding out, we're gonna have just trays all the way down over there, and I'm gonna hit these again on top and see if I can get them soaking in overnight. The sun's going down. I've been here 5 hours, and it does look like I did something, but it certainly wasn't seeding. That's for tomorrow. Boop, boop.
Alrighty. What's the date?
It is March the 8th.
Happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day.
Let's go. Let's go, women.
Let's go.
All right. And let's take a peek at our onions first. Look at how happy they are. They're standing so straight. And even some of our head lettuce, look at them. He's looking so happy. Look at those. And then Dad's over here seeding, or at least getting the trays ready.
Filling up the trays.
Filling up.
A lot of times when people are gardening and doing this on small scale, they'll sift this stuff so that you can get big lumps of wood and stuff out. I gotta be honest, I've found that unless it's full of stuff like that, that little seed's gonna have no problems just getting its root down in there. So I don't particularly mess around with that. And since we're putting beet seeds in here, I'll just poke a couple of holes in the middle to give them somewhere to sit. And that's a tray ready to be seeded. Now we'll just fill up another 100 trays and actually bust open the seeds.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. And then here, I will show you while he's doing that. We want to pull out our carrots to give them a good old wash.
Last of the carrots.
Yeah, so this is the last of our carrots. Look at them all happy in there. But we were like, let's pull out another bin of carrots. Hey, we got celeriac. Just joking, it's not carrots, but we're so happy with that. Because honestly, they are one of our favorite root vegetables. First time growing it this year. We'll be growing the giant prog this year. But, oh, we gave some away to customers and friends, and everyone just loves it. Just great celery flavor, so looking forward to that.
Tell them a few ways to use them.
Well, we do a celeriac mash, which is pretty much like 90% celeriac, 10% like a potato of your choice, and just a mixture of having the two. It's like this is super creamy and great like celery flavor, like I said, and then the potato gives it that starch to give it a little bit better texture, and that's like the best thing honestly you can have is celeriac mashed potatoes or puree or whatever you want to call it. We do them in stews and soups a lot too. They're quite tasty. Honestly, fry them up in general. They're just fabulous. I love them. And then KK's over there making worm food. I was about to say worm poo.
Yeah. Just our compost. It needs to be wet if it's going to heat up. And we want it to break down here soon so that we can get it on some beds and use it.
Whoop whoop. More energy going into these beds. Oh, and here's our beets. So this is May 8th. The last time I think we showed you was probably the 5th. Maybe not even then. But they are enjoying the greenhouse, getting a couple colder days in and really thriving. Oh, where is it? We had a little red. Did you see that we had a red kale going on? I don't know which tray it was in, but we had a little red kale growing. Not a beet.
Are you sure it's kale? It might
Yeah.
be a tomato.
No, I'm almost positive it's like a red kale from microgreen.
I saw it too. It's in one of the beets.
Yeah, it is. Of course, for the life of me, want to have the camera on. I can't find it. But anyways, they're looking. Oh, here it is. I'm pretty sure that's red kale, but maybe I'm wrong. And our onions. Yep. And all this is watered, and yeah, we're just pretty much seeding today, so nothing too crazy.
All right, here we go. Time to plant some beets. So, and to the viewers and to my daughters that are behind the camera, beet seeds are actually what they call clusters. So in each one of those, there's multiple seeds. So a lot of times when you plant one of those, you'll have 2, 3, sometimes 4, even 5 beets come out of that. So this is what we're going to be planting, the Tannus variety for our cylindrical one, and that's for all the folks out there that really like pickling because they're already shaped for the jar.
But for anybody else who doesn't just want
Yeah.
to pickle with them, they cook just the same.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and for anybody who's like, oh, are they only for pickle? No, they're not. You literally,
if you like beets,
yeah,
you can use them.
they're great.
All right, so for you girls and for anybody else at home, it doesn't really matter if you have, 2 seeds per cell with these, but because we're transplanting them and we want them to each have enough space to grow, we'll try to do just 1 seed in each thing. If you happen to, like I just dropped 2 in there, I'm not worrying about it. I'm not mucking around trying to dig it out.
Okay.
It's just an exercise in frustration. So, I just keep them in my hand. I grab a couple or 3 so it's not, you don't have too many in there. So worst case scenario, you only get kind of 2 in. But again, it's not something that, when we've got 180 trays to do, it's not something that there's no real perfection, right? Like, we just make sure that we get at least one per cell, and we'll have enough. 22 of these trays, there's 72 cells in here. 22 of these does 1 row of beets for us, and mid to late April we want to transplant 8 rows of beets.
So 8 of those.
8
no?
times 22.
Oh, I thought they said they just got a whole row. Sorry. I'm paying attention, not
so
paying
178 trays just of beets, and then today we'll also show you, the different cabbage varieties that we're starting. But because we're successionally sowing those, we'll only be doing, 40 or 60 of each variety of those per sowing. But that'll be a little different type of sowing than what we're doing here, so we'll bring you back the second that we're on to that.
Alrighty.
The girls have a few hours of beet seeding to do.
Right.
Oh, so we obviously have the seeds in those little depressions that I made with my fingers. We'll just throw a little bit more soil on them.
I got that, didn't I?
Just throw a little bit more soil on them. Nothing too crazy. And we'll put these out by the ones that have a 5-6 week head start on them. Whoop whoop.
Let's go.
Let's go.
They're all pretty now, all washed up, ready for soup and stews. Yum yum.
Oh yeah, baby. She's nice and warm in here.
Alrighty, it's March 10th.
Oh, March 10th.
Today.
And the seeding continues.
Yes.
Hey, now don't knock anything over. Oh! This ain't live. Oh yeah, baby, here we go. Kill mule. Oh my god, my hands are...
And what temperature is it today on March 10th?
It's minus 13 right now.
With a good wind chill. Good wind chill of probably negative 20. Let's be real. Ooh. And it's coming head on. Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, we gotta keep this on even if it's...
Uh-huh, yep. Agreed. We had it freeze on us the other day when we weren't using it regularly, so that wasn't very fun. So we went to go use it, and it was frozen. Not convenient. Alright, so March 10th, and look at our green onions. They're standing up all super straight, looking happy. And then our lettuce is really standing up straight. Look at this guy. Yeah. And let's go check out our beet starters. We brought these from home, so now they're in the greenhouse. You're gonna love that. Look at our beets. And a tomato. You see the tomato?
Yes.
And that was what we ended up seeding out. What day did we end up seeding all this out? 2 days ago?
Yeah,
So-
two days ago and yesterday. So what is that? 8th,
8th?
9th?
Yeah.
8th, 9th. We got out here for a few hours, and then today, hopefully, we'll get the rest of the...
Yeah, because this is all beets.
This is, well, yeah, so this is, we did the Tannis variety first. So there's 1 row's worth there, but we're doing 2 rows of each of these. So this is only sort of our first seeding. So this is the long red beet. This is the touch-tone gold, right?
Yep.
We did that
Yep.
one next.
Mm-hmm.
And then
A baby red round.
the babies are right here. And then I've got, I don't know, I think 14 trays of the, of just the normal Boro, the round reds. So we'll finish these up, and then that gives us 1 row of each. And then I think we're going to need to use the walk paths, because we're running out of room to put trays of seeds.
Right.
So
So probably have to do every second one so you can walk on it and
bring a hose down and water the trays
yeah.
in the
So
aisle.
like if you have them here, you wouldn't have it here, so we can spray. And,
Yep.
Yeah, kind of cool. That's what the plan is. Use the most space up as we possibly can.
Maximize the square footage.
Yes.
All right. We got beets going in the ground. Right, those looking nice. Everybody now.
Alrighty. Alrighty, folks. So KK and I planted most of our beets here in the greenhouse. So we did this row, and I watered that in twice. Now we got irrigation line on as well. Okay, and then we got that one, watered it in twice.
And why we got beets over there?
Because I think, well, first of all, we did not look at our plan, which was probably not wise, of how we wanted to space our beets. And then I also think we might have grown a couple too many.
Yeah, a little extra.
Yeah, so it was a little bit of two things. So we are now left with just those beets left. Yeah, what else did we've been seeding more beet trays, but that's not as
we got our second row of brown breads over there, and we're working on our Kaylin's seeding out the baby beets for the outside rows.
So yeah, that's how we're gonna optimize our space, and that's where our beets are going. Yeah, and we just checked. It's cool. It's cooler in here now, but it's, what was it reading? 25 degrees.
25. Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of regret not bringing shorts. We're all in. Our layers did not last for very long today, which is all right. I wonder what that is. Oh, and exciting news! We have our weeds coming up in our greenhouse, which is nice. So we can start pulling them.
All right, here we are, the dream team. We got a ton done. So I think we've got a little over 12,000 beets seeded out. So here is 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, and then we did the same thing, but they're sitting down the paths. So we got those all watered in. We did a little bit of weeding. We noticed some stuff was already coming up. We got the beets that we had started transplanted into this row, and then one single row all the way along so that we could get a few more of them in. And I don't know, other than that, anything else to add, ladies?
Just a good day seeing it.
Yeah, just spent a little. Yeah, maybe we could have time lapsed it next time, but it's kind of boring.
It is, well, I mean, it's not exactly.
It's just listen to tunes and seed away.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. Hey, if there is anybody that's watching this that's from the central Alberta area, we're going to be at the Lacombe first spring market. It's going to be at the LMC on Saturday, March 12th from 11 to 4. So if you're down in the area, please stop down and say hi to us.
If anybody would like to contribute to farm, film, or microgreen equipment, in the description below will be our PayPal link. So feel free, a couple bucks goes straight towards like flame weeders and new trays, that kind of stuff. It would be greatly appreciated.
All right, thanks, folks. And if we don't see you at the market, we'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Yeah.